Today's freebie is one I have been using for several years, and I happen to love the company that it comes from. I have several of their products, and I've had nothing but good things to say about them for several years now. Now, I'm going to move my screen to the very top because I have the standard Windows 7 desktop background here. A very pretty picture of a White House, probably somewhere in New England. And notice when I move it too much into the text, it's going to rearrange the text. So this would be too large, this would be too small, but this would be just right. We do have a green box, but notice the default color of the text was red. Well, if we hit the red, we can actually change the color of the text, but for this example, we'll leave it red. Now, if I don't like the position of the box, I can take my arrow tool and move the box around. So let's say we'll put it right here. And then the next tool down is a frame. So when we select frame and you drag an area out, you'll have whatever color is defaulted selected and highlighted with a box. And of course you have the same type of controls here at each corner. So let's say we wanted to get this area and highlight this particular area of our image. Now the next tool is a highlight tool. So when we drag that, we get the same rectangle, which we can manipulate, of course. And what we'll do here is we'll just highlight this window right here. And now we've used each of the tools with different colors. So this doesn't look like anything is going to win any graphic achievement awards. However, that's all we need to demonstrate at this point. Now down below at the bottom there are several buttons. The first one is Share via Screencast.com. Now this is a free service from Techsmith.com where you can store your devices, much the way you would with many of the services. However, this is free. And we're going to cover this in a future lecture. Share via Screencast.com. The next button is a Save button. This is your standard Windows Save button. Just the way you would save something in any program, this is where you save it in Jing. Next to that is the Copy button. You can copy this image into your queue, and then you can paste it into, let's say, a Paint program or Photoshop. So you copy it here, then when you open up your program, you simply hit Control-V or Paste, and voila, you will have this image in that program. If you want to cancel this particular image capture, this is where you do it. The next button is to customize the Jing buttons. However, I like them just the way they are. The one we're interested in is Save. So we're going to click the Save button to save this to someplace on our computer. So I'm going to select Save, and of course now your standard Windows saving box occurs. We'll simply choose our desktop here. And as an instructor at several colleges teaching graphic and video editing and computer type programs, I have many techniques that I impart to my students, and one of those tips that I'm constantly handing out is don't put things on your desktop. It only slows down your computer, and before you know it you have a mess to look at, but also you're actually affecting the ability of your computer to open up each time you turn it on. But for this demonstration I'm going to break my own rule and place it on the desktop. Now let's move this up a bit, and we see that it's picked up the name, but it's placed a .png. That's a PNG file that we spoke of earlier. Now there is an arrow here in the Save As type, but when I select it, only the PNG is available. That is a particular limitation that I don't find a limitation of this program. PNGs are an excellent file to work with, and if you haven't worked with them in the past, make certain that you start using them because they are wonderful for the internet. They are prolific, and unfortunately JPEG is the most common file, and that's what you're familiar with. But please grow your knowledge base and learn to use the PNG format. So I'm going to hit Save, and a box opens up saying Capture saved. Your capture has been saved and the file path is ready to be pasted. We can go and open the file at this point, but we're going to simply hit close for this particular demonstration. Now at this particular point, we don't see it on my desktop. That is because I've hidden my icons. By the way, this is a clever little trick that I have when I use Windows 7. I right-click on the desktop area and I can view various size of icons, small, medium, and large. But check this out. I can show my desktop icons, or I can navigate over to this window and show the desktop icons. So there is our award-winning graphic PNG. Now the reverse is true, of course. I can right-click on my desktop, go to View, go and show desktop icons. No, we can uncheck it. So that's a good little tip that I'm not going to charge you extra for here. Show desktop icons, there's our award-winning ping. Now depending on how the defaults are set up in your particular computer, double-clicking on this file will open it in different programs. Another tip I like to show you is rather than double-click on it, right-click and choose how you want this to open. Now open is going to open it in the default program that is set under Properties here. You see that in my case, a ping file is going to be opened by Adobe Photoshop CS6. Well, I really don't want to use that, and I can go and change it at this time to another program. I'm a graphic artist, so Photoshop makes sense for me to open up. I'm constantly in there. However, how about just a simple Windows photo viewer? So we're going to hit OK. And now that Windows Photo Viewer is going to open up all my ping files. So although this little information has nothing to do with Jing, it has everything to do with you growing your knowledge base about computers. So let's just hit OK here. And now when we double click award-winning graphic ping, it opens up in where? The Windows Photo Viewer. And here's the image we created. Again, we're probably going to win all sorts of graphic design awards with this fabulous image that we've created. However, we're not going to brag about it.